Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Atomic Salt Live Show. This is the show we're going to discuss everything in the tabletop hobby world. We are back from Las Vegas Open. We were going to do a show last Sunday, but we were pretty much partying it up. I am Wild Chevy, and as always, I'm joined by my buddy Casey. Casey, how are you this week?
I am just now recovering from Vegas. Just now recovering.
Yeah.
So, oh boy, that was a trip.
Did you have fun?
I did. I had a ton of fun. So, what about you?
I did too. Would you go back next year?
Without a doubt. I cannot wait for next year.
No, that's a sign of a very good con.
So, before we get started, this evening, as you can see, Alan is once again refusing to show his face on camera.
Yeah, I'm back into the painting grind.
What you don't realize is that he's actually been horribly disfigured by a chemical accident and is undergoing a sex change.
Whoa.
So that is why he refuses to show his face. And then in a few more episodes, he will be replaced by our new female host, Allie.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
So I'm about to flip my camera down here. This evening, I'm going to be working on the new Achilles model from Corvus Belli's Infinity.
10th anniversary, right?
Yes, it is. So you guys will get to see me unbox this and start putting one of the models together, because there's actually two in here.
Which one is the limited edition one?
That's this one right here.
Okay,
where he's holding the head up.
Right. All right. Well, I mean, we're going to be discussing Las Vegas Open. So, quickly, we got there Thursday. It was a nice little drive for us, like 6 hours ish. And Casey and myself, we got the high roller package. So if you've never been to Las Vegas Open, let me show you what is in there. This is what we got this year. So we got a bottle of Stymel Res primer from Badger, our pretty cool wristband of Doom, some bits from Cromlech, a little anthropomorphic mouse thing from Zombie Smith. I got an Archer. I think Casey got a mage type of thing.
I got a wizard. I'll just hold my comments here till the end.
A couple of bases here from Secret Weapon. So Mechanical Warhorse have these little objective markers. Yeah. Pretty cool little things. Great for a lot of conventions or different game systems. Got High Command, Rapid Engagement Force box. We got the Wild West Exodus, Union versus a Warrior Nation. It's a two-player starter box. And then, last but not least, we picked up a starter box for Drop Zone Commander. I got the UMC. And lastly, yes, the little bag of awesome that shows you were at Las Vegas Open.
So what do you think of the swag bag, Alan?
It's a lot of stuff for the price.
Yeah, how much extra did we pay for those bags?
I think it was 50 was the total. So that was the included the bag and admission.
So, first of all, stuff from Cromlech. That's always nice, right? You know, Cromlech has nice
bits.
Nice bits. The little things from Mechanical Warhorse. I guess those are useful for you 40K players. The ITS
40K. I think you can use this. I think they're 40 mil. You can use that for a lot of game systems. You can use it for Infinity.
Yeah, I'll be honest though, I'm still not sure what to make of that little mouse wizard thing from Zombie Smith.
Hey, it's just one of the retail sponsors that were at the show.
Yeah, and I mean, one, I'm very grateful for them supporting the LVO because that was nice. But at the same time, I look at that stuff, I'm just like, oh, okay. That's one of those ones where I don't ever see me using it. I don't know what I'll ever use it for.
You can have your daughter paint it up. You can take make a chess piece out of it. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, evidently. So I actually went online and they have a whole game that it's actually associated with, and it's like this whole anthropomorphic game that they've got going on. But yeah, that one doesn't really float my boat.
No, I mean, not everything in there is for everybody.
This is very true. Although this Achilles model should be for everybody because it is beautiful, dude. Like, I'm looking hard to find mold lines on this sucker.
Nice. So yeah, let's discuss day by day how we were there. So Friday, what did you do, Casey? Friday.
Okay, so we got there Thursday afternoon, which was kind of nice. We got the lay of the land. I know you said Friday, but I know you really meant Thursday. So that was our party on the way down, right? We had a good time. We didn't have to duck the cops too much. So, all in all, I would say it was kind of a nice, quiet little trip down. So, Vegas is just far enough away that it's a drive, but not so far that it's unpleasant, especially when you got a good group of people. So we got there on Thursday, kind of got the lay of the land, checked everything out, settled in. I had my own room because my wife was coming. Alan, you shared it with our buddy Austin. So I don't even want to know what happened behind those closed doors.
Ditto. In November, folks are going to hear Casey's going to have another kid.
Nope. I know that one for sure. So, okay, but on to Friday. So I played both Infinity events. And so Friday was the Highlander tournament. Shout out goes out to JT. He was the one who organized it all. He was our TO. We had pretty good attendance. We actually had 17 people show up for the Highlander tournament, which is pretty good when you consider that Infinity is generally people's secondary game, and Highlander is a secondary game of a secondary game. But we were all just kind of looking to not play some ITS for a little bit and have fun. And so we did. It was 3 rounds, all highly classified. I decided to bring my serious list. I know we were debating a little bit on whether or not I would be a troll to everybody, and just bring a kill 'em all list. But lucky enough for me, somebody else showed up with that list. We had a guy there, and he had never. If he had played Infinity before, he hadn't played it very much. And so he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to play in the ITS tomorrow." We're like, "All right, are you playing Highlander tonight?" He's like, no. What is that?" So we told him, he's like, "Well, I don't know how to make a list for it." I'm like, "Well, what are you playing?" It's like, "Well, I'm playing Steel Phalanx." And he kind of shows me the models that he has. And I just smiled. I'm like, "Lucky for you, sir. I know exactly what list you can bring."
Did you end up facing that list?
I did, actually, in our 3rd round. So, in the very first round, I played a Hawk Islam Assassins list, and I got absolutely smoked. He blew me out of the water.
Huh?
Yeah, it was. He did the same thing to me as what you did to me in our practice game. He dropped. For his very last model that he withheld, it was an infiltrator or an impersonator. He just put it right there, and at that level of points and with what I was bringing, I just didn't know how to handle it, and it just kind of messed me up. So, it didn't really kill anything, but I spent so much time trying to deal with it that I wasn't able to get any of my objectives done. So, then in my second round, I played a Eugene player. His name was Charles. Oh, sorry, my first opponent's name was Gino. He was a great guy. Even though it was a very difficult game to play, he was a great opponent. So we had a good time. Next was Charles. He was from Bay Area, California. Another great guy to play with. But this time, I beat him. I turned it around. He was one of Gino's buddies, and I got revenge for myself. And I turned it around and I thumped on him, with a final score of 10-0. That was actually a really fun game because a lot of our points were being scored in the very last turn. And one of the things I love about Infinity is it's so cinematic with the stuff that happens. And so we had this great moment where one of my guys actually, found one of his guys lying unconscious. And I was trying to get a coup de grace on him, but I didn't have enough orders to do that. So all I managed to do was able to run up and get into base-to-base contact with him, and in full visibility of the rest of his army. And it was basically, I was just holding him hostage. I was like, if you move, I'm going to ARO kill him. And so he spent a long time just trying to think about how he was going to save this guy, because it was like a Wu-Ming invincible, so it was a really, really nice heavy infantry guy that he would have liked to saved if he could. But yeah, it was kind of hilarious there. So, but I ended up winning that one 10-0.
Mexican standoff between Greeks and the Asians.
Yeah, it was a Mexican standoff. We ain't got no Mexicans. Sorry, I like that movie. And then in my third round, I played the guy that I helped build his list for him. So I just kind of smiled and said, "Oh, there's your lieutenant, isn't it?" And he was just like, "Yeah." Like, yeah, don't worry. I don't have the orders to go lieutenant hunting here. So, and it was Penicillea, a lieutenant, and a couple of cheap orders. So it was actually kind of fun to see, how that list fared. And the answer is not well, actually. It did not do well at all.
Well, aren't you glad now?
Yep. It was still a win for me. It was 8 points to 0. Or no, it was 8-2. He scored his classified. Or his secret. There we go. Gosh, did I tell you that I really love this model? It is just beautiful. Take a look at. So that was it. So even for the Highlander, we had just incredible prize support for Infinity this year. Basically, everybody who played got to take something home with them from the prize table. So it didn't matter if you were number one, or if you were last place, you still got something cool. So for me, I got a set of the acrylic bases that come like the little DVD kit from Brush for Hire. So it was actually really nice. That was actually one of the nicer prizes that they had on the table. I'm kind of surprised that it went that long. They come in a DVD case, and I don't think that people knew what they were.
Oh yeah.
And so the second I got up there and I saw that, I just pounced on it because I've been looking at some of those, for myself anyways.
Austin does do a good job.
Wait, R. Austin or?
Austin from Brush for Hire.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, no, he does a great job with his stuff. So I was more than happy to take that home with me. So, but with a pretty handy loss in the beginning, even my strong comeback in the second wasn't enough. Out of 17, I finished 5th. So not bad. Not bad. I mean, could have been. I would have liked better, but going 2-1, I suppose, is pretty darn good, especially for an event that I wasn't planning on actually winning anything. So, but that was me. How was your Friday?
Friday was, yeah. So I was in the 40K championship.
Mm-hmm.
Before we even get to that, I went over to the Privateer Press booth, and they had a lot of new things, including the Grill art here, the one kit that everybody who plays Kador. We've been waiting for this thing for about 2 years now.
So was that their big announcement that they were?
No, they had the next month's releases there to pick up, and then they had their Kickstarter announcement. They're doing their next, so they have a board game RPG called Undercity, and the next expansion of that they're going to run as a Kickstarter, so they can gauge the interest of the people.
And I should say that the Privateer Press booth was packed, like almost the entire time we were there.
That is how it usually is. It's just they have a good product. They have a lot of. It's not just their the miniatures line. They have pins. They have plushies. They have a lot of different things to add to the hobby. And then into the games. My first match. Let's see. I met a lot of different people over the weekend. Met a couple of Canadians. Met a Icelander. But first game, I got wrecked. I got 0 points. I can't remember who I played against. But it was one of those, okay, welcome to the big show. Got my teeth punched in. But very cool. Oh, in fact, yes, he's the guy I lost to was the Canadian who took home the top placer for Imperial Guard.
So you weren't playing a joke. Like that guy was there to win.
Yeah. Second round, played a whole night list, and what was really interesting about this one is that I get to the table and the guy hands me this, and he says, "This is my list," and I'm like, "Okay, what's this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's yours to take." I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." So yeah,
that's very cool.
So, little
he
wooden,
custom built that. That's cool, man.
And then open it up, and then there's his list on vellum with a wax seal.
I noticed you haven't opened his list to verify that he was playing it legal.
He had a printed out list, and he's like, "Okay, here's that, so you don't have to break the seal." I'm like, "Awesome!" So as far as showmanship, I'm like, oh, that's pretty amazing.
I gotta say that about like everything there. Like there were a few armies where you could tell like they were just like airbrushed to get a minimum 3 colors up,
Like
but
mine.
I'm not naming names. But there were just so many like just beautiful armies, just like done up to the nines.
Yeah, they had an army on parade at the start that morning for people who wanted to get points for, because you can get hobby points. So yeah, had a lot of good armies. Yeah, I didn't even realize a lot of that stuff was happening. Otherwise, I would have pushed more and maybe got a tray for my army, something to look a little bit more imposing. Yeah, it was amazing. Then yeah, last round was against the Icelander, and yeah, it was a good day. I didn't win much, but I felt like I knew where my place was in the world.
Because you got put there.
That was, and then after all that, so yeah, let's destroy ourselves a little bit more. We played uh, the Night Joust, which is just
Yeah, talk about the night joust.
that is a whole bunch of people with Imperial Knights, um, Imperial or Chaos, and then you go and duke it out. Um, the premise was supposed to be 5-on-5 teams, but there was an odd number, and so like our first table, we had 7-on-7 and pushed 2 tables together.
That's pretty darn cool. 7-on-7 nights. And so, did you keep that same team throughout all the?
That was the premise. It was you fought until the last man, and then your team went to the next table, and then you fight to the last man, and you just keep going on until somebody's crowned the winner.
So, how'd your team do?
Uh yeah, it was 7-on-7 was a little rough,
That's a lot of nights.
and so like my lancer, um, he got a kill. He did what he does best. He goes in and close combat stabs somebody else.
Well, at least you know your place. You know what you do well in the world.
Yeah, but like if you ask our buddy James from 40K Amateur Hour, after that, that's when it went downhill. We had 2 tables pushed together, and then it came down to it was just me and 2 others, and then we had one guy on the table. Very much was that guy, the the guy everybody's like, don't be a dick, don't be this person. He was that person.
That is too bad.
Yeah, and it wasn't much more his play style. It was that there was his teammate was a 12-year-old kid, and he's like, okay, you go forth and be the bait while I sit back and shoot. And then it just like you see everybody on the table, even his own team is like, dude, come on, get into it.
Yeah, that's not cool. Sending out the kid to do your work.
Yeah. But all in all, the little kid won apparently. So I'm like, the dice gods giveth and the dice gods taketh away.
Well, I'm glad to hear that the dice gods were paying attention that day.
But yeah, that was our Friday.
All right. So all in all, did you have a good time on Friday?
Yes. Went to bed a little less money in my pocket because of food. And
Where did we eat Friday night? I don't remember where we went.
I don't remember either.
Oh, see, now that's gonna bug me. Oh, we went to the burger place, like the sports bar burger place, where they had like really weird combinations of food.
That must have been you guys.
Oh, that's right, because you were doing the night joust, and so you didn't come with us.
I got left behind.
So it was just really like from the outside, it looked like this really swanky kind of place. But then you go in and they'd have like, and then you have a cheeseburger with Funyuns on it. I hear like Funyuns, or they'd be like, and then there's a milkshake that we make with Captain Crunch. And so it was kind of like this really weird mix-up of like uber fancy with just like I don't know, like the most trashy kids food you could think of. So
Weird fusion place.
yeah, I had no idea what to do with this place. Oh.
So Saturday, what did you end up doing on Saturday?
Okay, so Saturday was kind of the main event for Infinity. It was 300 points ITS with a Spec Ops. You got 2 lists. And we were going to play 4 rounds, the last one being Annihilation. But honestly, by the time we hit round 4, we were all done. And first, second, and third were, according to the TO, were pretty much in the bag. So on our very first mission, we played Beacon Land. No, that's the one. It was the one where you have like the 4 objectives in the middle, and you have to try and download data packages from it and escort it out to your beacons. So it might even be like data packages or whatever. So we played that one. It was pretty good. I got to replay my arch nemesis Gino with his Hawk Islam. This time,
twice.
Pardon?
Did you make the same mistake twice?
I did not. He tried to pull the same trick on me with an impersonator, but I was ready for him. He still managed to kill one of my models, but it cost him his. So I acquitted myself fairly well in that game. It ended with a score of 5-5. So, I would have liked to have just, beaten the tar out of him, but he was much too good of a player for that. So, but it was I still felt like I had redeemed myself a little bit from my earlier, 0-10 loss.
Go punch a puppy or something.
Yeah. So talk about puppy punching. That he brought an Azrael, like that walking tank, and oh my gosh, he chewed through my lines. That thing could have tabled me by itself if he had pulled it out earlier than he had. That thing is just a beast. So that was my first game. My second game was I guess another Hakazan player. His name was Joel. No. Another Hakazan player. He brought a 5-man link of Govods. They're the new Hawk unit. They got MSV1, and they are nasty. I'll step right out and say, I like the guy that I played. I thought he was a very nice guy. I would happily play him again, but that was not a fun game. There was no enjoyment to be had out of it. He had just deployed so well, and the army he brought was such a good counter to mine that, kind of like in the first round, you're just like, I'm not actually sure there's a point in playing the rest of this because I can see how this is going to go. So you try a few crazy last-ditch maneuvers. You find out why they call those crazy last-ditch maneuvers last-ditch. And then you just kind of shake hands. So he was a really nice guy, but that was not a fun game to play. So, and I thoroughly lost that one. So, next game, and then for my final game, we played whatever the one is where you drop all the different beacons. Every specialist starts with a little beacon, and I played. It was Pano, but I can't remember if it was Acontecimento or if it was military orders. That time I played a guy named Joel. Joel's a great guy, but he told me flat out, he's like, I'm going to lose this game. He's like, I have never won a game against LF. And I was like, oh, don't say that. And it was extremely dense terrain, so my Myrmidons were very happy. And it was not pretty for him. I had to worry about putting him into retreat early. So I was having to try and hold back while I was trying to score my points in the game. Because I was like, oh yeah, man, I'm rocking and rolling. Things are looking great here. And then it strikes you like, oh dang, but like you're really like I'm trying to like look and see, dude, what has he got left? Like I'm trying to add up points real quick. Like, so I'm like, I haven't actually scored any points. All I've done is kill his guys. So I finished that up with a 10-0 win.
Nice.
So I finished the day 1-1-1. Not quite as well as I had hoped, but it was pretty good. And once again, prize support that day was huge. Everybody who was there got to pick something off the table, and it was really nice. So I have zero complaints about that. And the way it was run. So how was your second day?
Yeah, started out. Yeah, got the tables. I don't remember who my opponent was.
Was that because that was the guy who forfeited?
No. So my first game of the day was an RI game. Just got soundly. It wasn't a beatdown, but it was a nice game for me. And then we got to the second round, and I'm waiting there at the tables, and then my opponent shows up, and he's like, "Hey, sorry to do this to you, but I'm backing out." So I got a automatic win, which pretty much met my doom for the next round.
Mm-hmm.
And then third and last round for the championship for me, because I wasn't headed to the top table.
So technically this was your sixth round, right?
Yeah. So sixth round, I went up against a very, very elite Thunderwolves list, and got thoroughly beat. But great guy, interesting personality.
Was he your typical like Space Wolf player? Was he kind of wolfy?
He was if you remember him, he was the guy walking around. You're like, why is somebody wearing a furry wolf hat in this convention?
Oh, it was that dude. We were
Yes.
all taking bets to see if we could like get his hat away from him and be like, dude, do you think like I will bet you this if you can go and wear his hat for just like a minute.
I would not take that bet. That
Yeah, I don't think anybody really wanted to, because that was kind of a nasty looking hat.
Yeah, just eyeball that. And I mean, we're in Vegas. It's hot and it's a long day, and that hat probably got a lot more funkier. But yeah, it was all in all interesting event. I thoroughly enjoyed getting myself beat down. Learned a lot.
Do you have a rough idea of where you finished in the game or in the tournament?
Out of 256 players, I
Only
was
256? I thought they had
they had
over 300.
over 300 people applied or
Registered?
registered, but only 256. I was in the very, very, very high 200s.
Okay. So, all in all, did you have fun in the championship?
Yes, every person I met was very, very good players. I didn't meet anybody rules layering or. Um, it was very, all in all, a very good event for me.
Good deal. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for, right? Is to have fun.
And I think after that first round, or probably the first 2 rounds, everybody knows their place in the world. You have to pretty much have a good 6 games to get to the championship. And by good, I mean you have to have all points. You could not allow yourself anything less than 8 points out of the 10.
So let me ask you this. Now, all the Infinity guys, we spent most of our time sitting there looking at the 40K guys saying, that looks miserable. We're having much more fun playing Infinity than they are having playing 40K. So let me ask you, would you go and play 40K again, or would you go and play Infinity instead next year?
Let's see, I was wanting to play Infinity as well as 40K, but being as it was such a small game at the LVO, they did not have anything going on for Sunday. And that was my original intent, was like, oh, I'm going to do the championship, get thoroughly beat, and then I'll have a fun game on Sunday. But there was no Infinity on Sunday.
Yeah, the only thing they had going on Sunday was the third round of their team games.
So yeah, I think if they don't release anything new codex wise for Blood Angels Grey Knights, definitely will think about running and doing the narrative campaign for 40K, because those guys look like they had a lot of fun.
So here's the man, the myth, the legend. Quite a nice little model to put together. His head is a little janky to get to fit, but I think I got it in there right. It looks right.
Is he still silhouette too?
He is. He's a big silhouette too. He's a big boy. Like he's seriously like the size of Ajax, but he's only a silhouette too. So, haha.
Yeah. So that was a Saturday.
Yeah, and then well, Sunday for me was just kind of a personal day. My wife was in town, so we hung out. We had a good time. We watched the Super Bowl. You know, had a nice dinner.
The Super Bowl was on?
Yeah, I know, right? What about you? How was your Sunday?
Sunday was, for me, the team event, which was really interesting. Team 40K was our original team Atomic Salt here couldn't make it down. So we ended up I ended up just being a ringer for another team.
And by ringer, you mean the punching bag?
Yeah, I got tossed into. It was interesting. I mean, well, it's, like this, battle plans don't always go how you want it. But it was an interesting premise. You had 10 minutes between or at the start of each round to look at their list and try to match up who would be the best to go up against. And then the captains diced off to see who would go against who. So all best laid plans kind of went out the window.
So how many rounds was it?
3 rounds, and yeah, it's fun. It's another fun event. This is less in your face beatdown.
Mm-hmm. I know this event. This one ran quite a while, didn't it?
It went a little longer because of the whole matchup.
Yeah, the whole kind of metagame going on.
Yeah.
So, how are your matchups?
Let's see. I got set up. I got set up against some interesting lists. I think the first list I went up against, I could not do anything to save my life. The guy had rerolls for everything. Reroll to hit, reroll to wound, reroll his saves, and I just couldn't do anything to just watch my stuff get belittled, blown away, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna anchor the team, try to do what I can. Go team, go.
Yeah, that was a great feeling when you're sitting there watching. You're like, and I'm not actually playing this game. I'm just trying to survive it.
Yeah, that's how it felt. But yeah, again, three people, 3 great games.
So, what was your second matchup like?
Not.
Do you even remember?
No. It was not good of a weekend. Everything's a little fuzzy right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things where you think I am never going to forget this, and now I'm just like I don't remember what happened.
I took a lot of photos, and so they're all on on the Wild Chevy Facebook page.
There you go. So, what did you think of all the vendors there?
We saw a ton of crafts. The nice folks who I got my tray from for Infinity.
You know, I actually got a tray from them as well. That was one of my prizes that I got for Infinity.
Yeah,
so, beautiful, like bomb-proof too.
Yeah, a lot of good vendors, a lot of interesting stuff.
So I'll say, I think the vendors were actually kind of a low spot for me. Well, there were plenty of people there. There weren't like really any demos going on. You know, if you wanted to like talk to people like, oh yeah, sure, here, let me, give you like a quick synopsis of what my game is about. But they didn't have demo tables set up or anything like that. So I was a little disappointed by that. I mean, everybody had stuff to sell, but I couldn't actually tell if I wanted to buy anything from them or not.
And I think it was a little because Badger. Like every time I went over to the Badger booth, they were out to lunch or something, and it was always in between rounds. So I had a hard time. I could not get to some of these booths because between rounds, nothing was going on.
Yeah, and then kind of on Sunday, like when it was the Take It Easy day, there was not a lot of them were up. You could tell that they had all either checked out or closing up shop or had really enjoyed Vegas to its full potential.
Yeah.
And were thus like kind of sleeping off the effects of the previous night.
Yeah, and almost forgot. The Draconic Awards from the War Games Consortium.
Oh yeah.
The paint contest that went on through the whole weekend.
You know anybody who entered that?
Yes, I put my anaconda in after weathering it up and all that, and I took a gold coin in the journeyman.
Congratulations, sir. Can we see that?
Maybe.
If you didn't pawn it for during gambling.
No. It was an interesting. There was a because they had the journeyman and then they had uh, the pros. It definitely was not in the pro league.
No, I don't think you actually qualified to enter the pro league. Did you?
You could. Oh, there it is. My case of wonder. My anaconda tag.
I think the interesting thing to note there's 3 different Infinity models in there.
4.
Oh, am I missing one?
There's
I saw I saw your tag. I saw the other hot guy, and I saw Go-Go Marlene.
and
What am I
then
missing?
Senior Massacre is there on the checkered table.
Oh, yeah, huh? So, well, congratulations, sir. You earned it. I mean, even just looking at that, yours looks far and away the very best. They took some.
Yeah, it was a nice push. And yeah, I'll go back again one day and try to become the very best that no one ever was.
You're the best around. Da-da-da. Never mind. I had like 80s power ballads going on in my head. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I did too.
Yeah. So what was your highlight for the weekend?
Boy, the highlight of my weekend. You know, honestly, it was a 300-point ITS Spec Ops. You know, I won one, I lost one, I tied one. It wasn't the best, but I just had great opponents, and my list. I was really unsure about the list that I was bringing. It was kind of an experimental one. But you know, my list worked just the way I expected it to, or wanted it to. And yeah, like it was just everything clicked. You know, we played some very high level Infinity. Everybody was, you know, really brought their A game. I saw a lot of diversity in what was brought. There's just so much great prize support, and it was just good folk. I know that sounds weird, but at one point the TO was kind of talking about the mission, and there were some complexities and some weird things with it. And he's just sat there and said, he's like, at one point he goes, you know what? You guys all know the rules, and you're all just cool, so you guys figure it out. And so we did. And I mean, we all just kind of worked together, and it was like, you know, it was a real game, you know, because everybody was enjoying it, and they were playing, and everybody was being good to each other and having a good time. And I think that kind of community is just totally invaluable. So, what about you? What was your highlight?
Not meeting a lot of folks. I mean, walking into the convention, just seeing a lot of people that I knew from the Facebook's forums and just from other conventions, just catching up with people. It was nice to see a lot of people again. Got to meet some new connections, talk to some new people. It was great.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, like going to these things, and I don't know about these ones, but I know I used to have to go to a lot of work conferences, and there's kind of like this same crew that you always see at these places. And I think it's kind of like this here too, where, you know, you're like, oh, these are my convention friends. And so I am really excited to go back next year, catch up with everybody, and yeah. Oh, my wife just laughed. She's like, "Oh, you think you're going back next year, do you?" So maybe I'll be back next year. I hope I will be. So, um, we could talk about news. There's some interesting stuff. Underground Lasers has a 50% off sale going on. So
That's
everybody,
over.
yeah. It's over tonight. Oh, is it? Is it already over?
It's already over. I went to go check on it today, but they did say. So what it was is that they had a Facebook contest, and if the one post got so many likes, they would add more and more to their percentage off, up to 50%. And they got like 40 orders, and then they closed it off this morning, Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But they said like their page, and they're gonna do some more. So
Good deal. They make some very nice terrain. So yeah, that's going on. Chorus Belly has released the ITS 2016 model. So it's kind of a cool Morat former prisoner who's out on the lam turned mercenary. He's got a few interesting little bits in his profile. Things we haven't seen yet. He's linkable, but there's only availability 2, so he'll be a fire team duo, I suspect. And a couple of weapons we've never heard anything about before. So,
and chest rockets.
A chest mine and something called a Red Fury.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about those. I'm not actually allowed to say. But that's cool. Is there anything else you wanted to cover? I mean, we could talk about the swag bags a little more.
Oh, and is there anything like you'd want to see change for next year?
Oh, for
LVO?
For LVO. Yeah. Bally's food. Do we want to get into that?
Yeah, it was a little minor grumble in the whole community. I think even Reese had a grumble about it too. But yeah, they charged a lot for substandard food, and they wouldn't let you allow to bring anything in, food or drinks. And I think a lot of people were a little bummed about that first day, and then everybody found other options. If you're ever going to Vegas, folks, talk to the people who work there, because they know all the ins and outs. They know that you're as poor as they are, and they'll hook you up.
Yeah, it was just a little extreme. $15 for a burger and fries. And don't get me wrong, I thought that it was perfectly acceptable, the quality of the food. But I mean, when you're paying like $5 for a little bottle of water, that's a little obscene. So that, like, honestly, that's about the only thing that I would like to see changed. That's the only real complaint I have. I'd like to see the vendors actually have more demo games, because that was something that Feast of Blades took very seriously. There were lots of demo games going on there all the time, and that they had a whole section set aside for that. And so you could really play a lot of new and different games. So, and I hope that we get to do that here a little bit more at LVO. So that would be nice. What about you? Is there anything you would change?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was about it. Because I know for the night joust, there was some special rules that, like, if something blew up, everybody would, at your table would have a drink and all that and yell huzzah. But they closed the bar early on us. So I just yeah, I know that was just a minor little thing that was out of everybody's control. But yeah, I mean, the room was good. The Getting down there was nice.
Yeah, the room was great.
Tables were excellent. I think it's like 300 tables, and all of them had fat mats on them.
And all like these were real tables. Like they were done very, very nice. They were beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely say if you're ever wanting to do a tournament out in the West in early spring, definitely go to Las Vegas Open. And other than that, I mean, you can always go to Salt City Gladiator Games.
Yeah, time to start plugging Salt City, isn't it?
But yeah, all in all, I say good trip. Definitely loved it.
Agreed. That's it for me tonight.
Yep. Yeah, that's it for me as well. Folks, yeah, if you went to the LVO, if you want to see more LVO coverage, I took some video, and if you want to see it, I'll post it up. But that is it for us this week. Well, we'll be back next week with episode 69. But yes, like this video, comment down below, tell us what your thoughts are, what you'd like to see. Share it with your friends, and subscribe to see more. Casey, anything else?
Just as always, if there's ever anything you want us to take a look at or talk about, shoot us an email at theatomicsalt@gmail.com. This is The Atomic Salt, and LVO just blew our minds.
Good night, folks. See you next week.